All right. So this is I'm not even going to do this like some kind of hey, lean this way, lean that way. Not happening. So how I'm going to do this, I'm just going to give it straight up, and you be the choice on how you want to feel about it. So Donald Trump, he got into this whole thing, not even just before. I mean, I'm going to go before COVID-19. All right. And just to jump off the bat, COVID-19 is the year that this branch of the coronavirus was discovered. That's all it is. It's not the 19th one, as some people have proclaimed and then backtracked on, because you can do that now with people. You can just claim what you want and then backtrack. And you can also take out the fact that it's, the 19th version of coronavirus. The 19th COVID is not, it's just the year it was discovered. We don't know if it's been here all this time. We don't know where it came from. We just know the quote unquote origins of it, the origin land. That's all we know. So Donald Trump, before this, he was already, he wanted to build his wall. Remember that? So he started building the wall. And in order to pay for the wall, he was trying to take away from entitlements. He wasn't going to take from the military. He wasn't going to take from the big companies. He's going to take from, health care. He's going to take from Social Security, things like that. He was defunding public schools here and there, trying to pay for it, and other things to give tax breaks to the rich and wealthy. If you feel like that's the right thing to do, okay. If you think that's the wrong thing to do, fine. I'm just letting you know what he's done. Now, Trump, when it come to shove, then it was the Nazis on one side, and then you had the more or less Democrats and progressives on the other. What happened is one of the Nazis drove his car through the people, killing Heather Heyer. So, and his response to that was that there were bad people on both sides. Now, is that true? Is that not true? Literally, that's up in the air. And that might turn you off, but just because one side is the side that you are tribally with doesn't make it the good side. Just because that side happens to be the side that you're against doesn't mean it's the bad side. However, one thing's for sure. Nazis haven't done anything positive in history. Nazis haven't done anything positive in modern history. And every single one of those modern Nazis are the descendants of people that hated the Nazis outright. Some of them are descendants of people that were slaughtered by the Nazis. So, which side you want to be good or bad, I'll leave that up to you. I'm not going to guide you one way or the other. Because the other side, there were people that were throwing rocks and shouting obscenities and things like that. Now, just because one side did something worse than the other, doesn't mean that the other side was the good side. Now, after that, Donald Trump had his chance to do something for the people. But instead, he kept his fence going. That's his primary goal. And when he did that, what did he do? That fence went through Republican properties. People were cut off. They would have been on the other side of the wall. Their yards were cut off. Golf courses were cut off. Trump didn't care. Trump wanted that wall up. Now, just to be fair, these people wanted the wall until the wall bothered them. They wanted to be separated from those south of us until they were going to become those south of us. Trump could have stopped the wall. He had the option. But he wants to please his constituents. And honestly, that's what a president, governor, mayor, or anything wishes to do. Makes sense. Please your constituents. So, is he doing right or doing wrong? I'm going to leave that up to you. But he wants that wall. They want that wall until that wall infringes upon them. Donald Trump wants more tax breaks and cuts for the wealthy, the rich, and all of them. Because to him and everyone else, they'll tell you, hey, if they get the money, sorry, bump the screen. If they get the money, then they'll give us the jobs. Now, honestly, I want you to think about it. When these wealthy people, they get a lot of money. They get billions of dollars a year. Sometimes hundreds of millions for the lesser ones. And with all of these people getting the money and being deregulated, might I add, he's also deregulated. How many jobs have actually come to you? That's something for you to really question. How many jobs have come to your area? How many jobs have come to others? How many jobs have been created in an area that's helping the middle class, the lower class? How many jobs are there that is actually raising people out of poverty? These are good questions, I would think. And I think you should try to answer them personally. How has giving lots of money to the big cheese people given you any slice of that block? I think that's a good question. If you think Trump giving money to the rich and the wealthy to give jobs to all of you is the right thing, that's great. If you think that him doing that is the wrong thing to do, that's fine. However, I would say focus on the end result. Is what he's doing benefiting you? Now, all of a sudden, there's a little bit of calm. There's some gaffes. There's some foolery. There's some things. And then suddenly, reports come out of China. There's a virus. It's bad. By the time the United States really started learning of this virus, the virus had already reported had gotten into Italy. And in Italy, people were infected. People were dying. There are lots of reports on if this virus is deadly to all or to some. How does it work? How does it not work? How can it be cured? How can it be killed? How can it be managed? When it comes to something absolutely new, nobody knows. Now, before this virus was, discovered, Donald Trump decided to eliminate pretty much the watchdog over stuff like this. Now, former President Barack Hussein Obama, he's the one that initiated this, saying, we're going to need it. At some point, there's going to be some kind of virus or something that's going to start spreading, and it's good to be ahead of it. Donald Trump abolished it. He reduced it by just over 2/3. Okay, reduced the staff, the funding, and everything. He reduced the CDC. So, and he did this because by reducing it, that's less money to go to them and more that can go into the pockets of his big donors. And those big donors need the money, and that money is supposed to go into them to help them give you the jobs. Have you benefited from that? I think that's the question. So, with all of these people making a lot more money and every program being defunded and weakened and undermined and underutilized, COVID-19, this new branch of the coronavirus, it started to spread. No one believed it was going to come here. We didn't really know about it here in the United States. When it came time for that, that is when Trump, at that moment, could have acted. However, looking out for, his constituents, the wealthy, the rich, what he did was he allowed them to, and no punishment to it because everyone this is a capitalist society, and if you're a capitalist, you need to go along with it. So the idea was they knew that what was happening was going to affect a lot of people. This was going to be a national thing. So on both sides of the aisle, Republican, Democrat, it didn't matter, they dumped a lot of shares. They sold them off. And these shares they were going for a lot of money. People wanted them bad. So before anything happened, they sold them because they had the inside scoop. They knew what was coming. Donald Trump gave the okay. It was fine. No problem. Now, with them making a lot of money, the idea is once they make a lot of money, then they would be able to do more, hire people or create more jobs. Let me know if that's happened to you in your area where these people live. That's very important. Donald Trump had the ability at that moment to shut the country down. But he has to look out for his constituents, and that is something that any leader needs to do, is look out for their constituents. Therefore, what he did was he kept it open just for a little bit because there's no need to really shortchange the entire country over a virus. And with Democrats, with Bernie Sanders at the time, Joe Biden, and Elizabeth Warren and a few others on Donald Trump's coattails, it makes sense that maybe they overinflated that this virus was here just to make Trump look weak. And in order to do that, they will have to talk about the deaths of the virus and then Trump not doing anything about it. The truth is, Trump did do something about it. He made sure to look out for everyone that was going to lose money when this virus hit. That's important because without money, you don't have the ability to take care of yourself properly, especially if you're used to a certain level of lifestyle. Trump looked out for those people. With that said, when it came time to do further things, it's impossible to really look out for the entire nation as a whole, to literally say, you states, we're the United States, but constitutionally, you have the freedom and right to do what you need to do for your constituents. So for Trump to say, you need to do what I tell you to do, that's just not going to happen. That's unconstitutional. Trump didn't go there. However, the states are so used to one thing for the past 40 years, they waited for Trump to give them the high sign to close. They waited. They got impatient with Trump not saying anything, not giving any orders, and therefore Trump is to blame in their eyes, when all Trump did was give them the right to do what they want to do without infringing upon it. Now, that's to each their own. That's taking responsibility into your own hands. Donald Trump made sure that states' rights was above all else the most important thing to do. And you might find that great. You might find that negative. However, he did for the people what the people wanted. Nobody wanted to be trapped in their homes. Nobody wanted to be stuck jobless or anything. We have a history of over 200 years of saying if you're jobless, you're worthless. You need money. It's been in our music. It's been everywhere. You need money. You got to have money. What are you going to do for money? If you have no money, then you are meaningless. Donald Trump knows that. If you are broke, you are a joke. He wanted to make sure that you had money. He wanted to keep the U.S. open, not for domestic travel. Well, not domestic, but international travels and things like that. No, he wanted to make sure that everyone could travel from place to place, state to state, keep everyone out, close those borders to anyone traveling from any other country, and keep everything isolated. Therefore, everyone gets to keep their money. When you're able to keep your money, that's when you're able to do things for the community, the public, keep the economy going. From day one of this, Donald Trump has been extremely on the economy. That's what he has been all about. He has done his best to please his constituents. He has done his best to not impede upon states' rights. He has done his best to not keep people inside when they don't want to be inside. It is up to the individual person to do what they want to do, which is the absolute freedom. Now, if this virus, it is deadly. It will kill you. That's true. However, it is your individual right of self-preservation or to take a chance. Now, I personally am on the side of self-preservation. So stay in as much as possible. Go out only when have to. That's it. We're going to hope for the best. That's the point. Donald Trump isn't bothering anybody. He is looking out for the economy. He's looking out for the rich and the wealthy, those job creators, so that when they get their money, more jobs are available. Personally asking, has that happened? Because you are the best to know in your area what has been done for you. No one else can judge what happens there other than you. So, with all of this money and trillions of dollars being handed over to Wall Street to make sure that the economy remains open and prosperous for them, with over $7 trillion being handed to them as of today, how many jobs have opened where you are specifically? How many? How many people are going to work now? Surely with an economy booming like this, no one's been laid off, no one's been furloughed, no businesses have shut down. Trillions of dollars have gone into the United States of America to make sure that all doors are open, to make sure that no business has to close, to make sure everybody has what they have to live, survive, thrive, and enjoy their life. So, if you can, in the comments section, how has all of these trillions of dollars to Wall Street and everyone else getting their money from Donald Trump, from the federal, how has that helped you? Let me know. Let the world know exactly how you have fully and 100% benefited from this. Name the new businesses that's opened. Give credit to that. Give credit to any new schools that's opened. Let everybody understand that this is not some kind of hoax. This is not some kind of trick. This isn't some kind of weird 4D chess that Trump is doing. It's just straight up keep the economy open, keep the people safe, and make sure that every business owner has what they need to keep their business afloat. Now, I know that might not seem fair considering that only $1,200 one time should last us 10 months. And that's what he fought for. Donald Trump fought for that $1,200 for everyone to have. Now, I must honestly say that the reason we didn't get more at the time was because more money had to go to Wall Street. More money had to shore them up because without them, you'd have no jobs. So you have to explain to the world how this has benefited you personally. How has this helped your communities personally? How has your area blossomed from the $7+ trillion to Wall Street? That's very important. Matter of fact, since this is all a hoax, just to be honest with you, I'm actually concerned about Donald Trump. I think something might not be right because our dear president, if you haven't noticed, since this whole hoax started by the Democrats, he's not gone out to do any rallies. Maybe he's concerned the Democrats might physically attack him. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Either case, how you feel about it is how you feel about it. No one's trying to change it. Just let us know how this has helped you. That's the most important thing right now. I think so. You can go out, you can stay in, you can wash your hands, you can go commune with others. That's your right, that's your choice, that's your freedom. And I think at the end, the best thing I can honestly say to you is self-preservation is far more important than any simple whim. But that's just me personally speaking. This has been Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.